I just love watching cute cat videos. This is the best day ever. A new comment. I wonder what it says.
Oh my God, comb your hair, at least if you're gonna be on camera.
Well, that's one way to deal with hate comments. But I prefer to have a more positive spin on things. Unfortunately, negative comments are just something that we have to deal with when you put yourself out there on social media. As the saying goes, you can't please everyone all of the time. You're not cake. Food is a big part of our lives, so we're all going to have opinions on recipes. You might love an ingredient, have a different method of making it, or think my recipe is wrong because a different region might make it slightly differently. These comments usually show a passion for food, which I love. Sometimes these messages provide valuable insight, offering feedback on how I can improve my content. But occasionally they read like a fever dream and you can't understand what the person's trying to say. I thought I'd share some of the funnier ones with you. Names have been changed to protect the not so innocent. I've got my drink ready. Let's jump into the comments. I recently made a delicious pasta salad based on my favorite course, antipasto. A delectable mix of cured meats, artichokes, olives, cheeses, and pasta. It's hard to imagine criticism for this recipe.
You can't call that Italian. I'm sure it tastes good, but please, that's not Italian.
Oh. Now, in fairness, this isn't something you're going to find in any Italian restaurant or even in Italy. It's a concoction of my very own. It's based on antipasto, an Italian course. It's made using ingredients from my favorite Italian supermarket. It's made by me, an Italian. See, I've got one. It's real. I am Italian. I'm not sure how much more Italian it could be. Obviously, it's not Italian based on this commenter, so let me know in the comments below. Where do you think this dish originates from? I recently had some semi-viral success on Instagram with my creamed honey video, gaining a whopping 250,000 views. You would be surprised how many people throw away honey once it's crystallized, thinking it's no longer usable. If my video saved just one bottle of crystallized honey from going in the bin, my job here is done. However, rather than swiping away, many people were quick to point this out.
You do realize that all you have to do to get the honey out of your squeezy bottle is
allow it to set in warm H2O.
What are you on about?
While this is true and you can melt crystallized honey in hot water or the microwave, it's just going to crystallize again. By creaming the honey and putting it in the refrigerator, it makes sure that it doesn't crystallize. And you can add some nice flavors to it. I added cinnamon. It's delicious.
That's sugar and not honey. That is why it started crystallized.
Nope, it was definitely honey. You saw me cut it out of the bottle.
You cut the bottle in half, Limone.
Nothing like the use of capital letters to get your point across. Laughing my off. But one message wasn't enough for this user. They continued to post under other people's comments, suggesting I was being passive-aggressive and not answering the questions. I can only imagine this defensive reaction came from an overwhelming fear of bees. Maybe they're allergic. This one is wild.
Is not pure nectar and from mixed non-EU honked.
EU honked? Unfortunately, this user made me picture a goose in my brain and I lost all concentration. Okay, Danny, focus.
Real and naturally orifices.
Well, this suddenly feels a little inappropriate. I'm dubious as to the authenticity of a post claiming to come from the chair and director if bee association when the user's name is Juggles050. Let's briefly travel across to my second channel, creatively named Black Cat Kitchen Clips, to check out my cookies in 20.8 seconds short video.
You said in 20.7 seconds, but it was about 11 minutes.
You do know shorts videos loop, right? So if you left it on looping for 11 minutes, it's not really my fault. Well, I'll take the feedback on board, and the next cookie video I make will be 10 seconds long.
Alchermes was made with insects in the Middle Ages. Anyone who still makes the liquor with animals is an asshole. Point.
Now this comment comes off of our homemade Alchermes liqueur. This is a traditional Tuscan liqueur and it's used in zuppa inglese, which is why we made it. You can check out my recipe here. But traditionally, this was made with cochineals, which gives it its red color. Cochineals are also used in most food dyes or makeup. You'll still find them in many sources today. While I'm not vegetarian or vegan, I do tend to eat a lot of vegetarian food. In fact, I've even shared some of my vegan and vegetarian recipes on the channel. That said, if you're worried about bugs, which are arguably the most sustainable protein source we have, I'm not sure there's much I can do to help you. When I moved to the UK, I fell in love with the humble cheese and onion sandwich. This is not a common sandwich filling in North America, but it's one of the more popular flavors here in the UK. You'll find a cheese and onion sandwich lurking in every supermarket, petrol station, and service station. I've even converted my family to loving cheese and onion sandwiches. So much so that when I fly back to Canada, I bring a few with me as a gift. I thought I'd share a recipe for making a cheese and onion sandwich at home so that everyone in the world can enjoy it. A picture paints 1,000 words, or in this case, a string of emojis. At least it got downvoted. A moderator of a sandwich group reluctantly approved my post because it technically meets the minimum specifications to be considered a sandwich, which I assume is essentially something slapped between 2 slices of bread. You don't need butter and mayo. Which was also echoed on TikTok. British people butter their sandwiches. It's traditional in a cheese and onion sandwich to have butter. It actually helps create a barrier between the bread and the filling so that your sandwich doesn't get soggy.
And let's check out a few more cheese and onion comments.
So you may hate on a cheese and onion sandwich, but surely you can't hate on one ingredient alone.
Are you kidding? Part of the aroma of great onions is that punch of flavor. No way. Not going into my cooking.
This was a reply to a tearless onions video where I bought Sunyon's tearless onions to test them out and see if they worked. Now, I've always been an onion goggles kind of girl. I wore a pair on national television, and I'm pretty sure for that reason alone, I won the $1,000. However, tearless onions do work, and there's no change in the aroma or flavor. Sunyons were created by repeatedly crossbreeding milder breeds of onions that contained less pyruvate. So don't add them to your cooking, but don't come crying to me. I recently made one of my favorite summer dishes, pasta al limone. This comment cracked me up.
Way too much lemon. The lemon portion is out of control. At most 1 lemon. I see so many looks great reviews, so they haven't made it prior to posting a review.
The lemon portion is out of control. Out of control! Now that would make a great t-shirt. And speaking of merch, you can go and check out my new Black Hat Kitchen merch. I've got tote bags and stickers and t-shirts. I've got this beautiful embroidered hoodie that I now wear everywhere and it's so cozy. Or why not pick up a mug? Let the world know you love cats. And you'll also be supporting my channel. And speaking of supporting, I just want to say 99% of the comments that we get are positive and lovely. And I'm so grateful to all of you that take the time to actually comment on the videos. It really does make my day, and I really appreciate every single one of you for watching the videos and coming back week after week. I'm also really lucky that I haven't really received any really terrible, rude comments. I personally don't think that anybody actually meant for these comments to come off the way that they have, and if they did, well, I forgive them. And if this video gets lots of views and likes, maybe I'll do another one in the future. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now. Olive and pasta. Nope. Cured meats. You're laughing. It's hard to imagine criticism for this recipe. That was your click. I can't say that. I recently had, I'm dubious as to the authenticity of a post claiming to be from the chair of